toward the end of the college football season in two different conferences, there was a gigantic psychological warfare between two major rivalries. And what I'm pointing to is Ohio State has had its foot on Michigan's throat for years, and Michigan overcame that, went through that psychological situation that we've seen for years where Ohio State had it on them. Georgia, Alabama, Georgia did not get through that barrier. And here we go again. We've got Georgia, Alabama once again. There are people in one camp that say Alabama's still got that psychological advantage. Georgia's going to doubt itself. If they make a mistake early, they're going to think, here we go again, that sort of thing, versus the Georgia's got to be so raving mad and ready just to let out its frustrations. It's a difficult one to evaluate, but what do you think here?
I mean, there are two different cards hitting the table. There are two different poker chips hitting the table. When you look at Georgia's playing the card of the SEC championship, that was not real Georgia. Real Georgia was against Michigan in the Orange Bowl. And so here comes Alabama playing the card of, we beat this team by 17 points and you're doubting us again. So you have two different ideals hitting the table, but whether you call it psychological advantage, whether you call it exercise and demons, whatever you want to, whatever adjective or statement you want to throw out there, Kirby Smart has to get this done because the pressure is on him. Georgia hired him in 2016 for one reason, and it's Kirby, we got to win championships. We haven't seen one since 1980, and we brought you over here because you sat under Nick Saban for 9 years. From 2007 to 2015, you gathered all the knowledge you could possibly gather. Is there anything within that near decade of knowledge that you have accumulated that can help us finally get over this hurdle? Because this is a massive hurdle. And since Saban has been at Alabama, Georgia is 1-7 against him. The only win 2007, Saban's first year, 26-23. Kirby is 0-4. Including 0-3 in championship settings. So he is stressing himself out, watching film, trying to get, where am I missing it at? Where can I finally get this? Like, where is the problem? So as much as the Georgia fans are stressing and Vegas is stressing, putting money on Kirby for this game, Kirby Smart is somewhere in the man cave in Athens stressing his mind about how can I finally get this done? So there are two different cards here, Mark, on the table. Which card walks out holding the trophy next Monday at Lucas Oil Stadium? That's where all the fun comes in.
Because ironically, if you look at the 2017 national championship game, that was the game in which Alabama had the greatest talent advantage. Georgia obviously was really good, but Georgia outplayed them in that game, of course. Tua saved them, and they pulled it out in overtime. Since then, and especially the deeper it goes with Kirby Smart stockpiling these recruiting classes, it's a flip of the coin in regards to those teams just being loaded with waves of talent. So the talent situation is just like this, it's dead even. It's not that, it's something else.
It's got to be psychologically right, because I go back to when Bama lost to Florida in 2008 with Tim Tebow, SEC championship game. Saban always talked about, we had the talent to win that game against Tebow. We didn't have the belief we could win that game against Tebow. And when it came back to the next year where the talent was not only there, but the belief was there, and everybody bought in that we can beat Florida. And when it happened, for Kirby Smart, it's the same thing. The talent is there for Georgia, but for Kirby, is the belief there? Does he really think he can beat Nick Saban? Does this Georgia team really feel like we can beat them? Because if the belief is there, then you're going to start to see the plays manifest themselves on the field. That's what it comes down to. Does Kirby and do the players really truly think there is no difference between us and Alabama? We can beat them. It's the belief there. That's the big question.